on to ceremonial proclamations. This evening, we have a proclamation honoring the 80th anniversary of D-Day. We're gonna change it up a little bit. I'm going to start reading the proclamation tonight, and then my fellow counselors are gonna participate as well. Whereas June 6, 2024 marks the 80th anniversary of the D-Day landings in the Battle of Normandy, and is a day that marked the beginning of the end of World War II. And whereas on D-Day, an estimated 156,000 American, British, and Canadian troops landed on the beaches of Normandy, region of France, for what would be one of the largest military assaults in history. And whereas our servicemen showed courage, dedication, compassion, and self-sacrifice as they fought for freedom for the world and the end of the horrors of the Holocaust. And whereas more than 400,000 Americans gave their lives in service to their country during World War II, with 6,600 casualties on D-Day alone. And whereas in March of 1943, over 60 young men from the Auburn area missed the final months of their senior year of high school as they were drafted to join the U.S. Army, reporting to Fort Niagara to begin their service, eventually assigned to the 299th Combat Engineer Battalion. And whereas the 299th Combat Engineer Battalion was comprised of these servicemen from Auburn, New York, and hundreds of others from towns and cities across upstate New York. And whereas the servicemen of the 299th Combat Engineer Battalion were some of the first American soldiers to set foot on the beaches of Normandy.
And whereas the following men who became known as the Auburn Boys served as part of the 299 Combat Engineer Battalion's mission on June 6, 1944. John Brannick, Claude Brown, James Burke, Anthony J. Butera, Giacomo Capello, Anthony T. Contrara, Steve Cook, Joseph M. Costello, Joseph H. Coyle, Daniel G. Cristodero.
Nicholas Vincent DeAngelis, Dominic A. Benedetto, Anthony N. DiTomaso, Chester W. DeBari, Sam J. DeFabio, Byron E. Dussman, Nicola A. Falciccio, Wallace F. Filkins, Edward Garbelli, Anthony N. Gasparo, John H. Gleason, Harold E. Green, Charles W. Hawelka, Charles W. Hurlburt Jr., Leo A. Indelicato,
Melcher LaRosa, Joseph C. Leonti, Harry L. Lull, Angelo Manna, Frank J. Morabito, Joseph J. Morabito, Richard L. Nash, Wilson J. Neer Jr., Larry Nettie, Thomas J. Nettie, William L. O'Brien, James F. O'Byrne, Thomas G. O'Connell, Carmen D. Ottavino, Raymond C. Painter, Henry J. Pearson, Jr., Anthony A. Petrosino, Thomas Phillips,
James B. Ramage, Carl H. Reese, Lawrence A. Roberts, Stephen Ruzinko, Sam B. Scalero, William J. Secor, Carmelo Signorelli, Charles W. Smith, Dominic A. Spano, John Spinelli, Herbert M. Steigerwald, Bruce A. Steigner, Anthony Serace, William J. Titus, Severio G. Trinco, Samuel J. Vella, James Walter, Francis C. Weirick, and George J. Wilson, Jr.
And whereas on D-Day, the following servicemen from the Auburn, New York area gave their lives on the beaches of Normandy in the liberation of Europe: Claude D. Brown, Nicholas Vincent DeAngelis, Leo A. Indelicato, Thomas J. Phillips, Lawrence A. Roberts, and John R. Spinelli. Now therefore I, James Nicholas Genentino Jr., Mayor of the City of Auburn, on behalf of the City Council and the citizens of Auburn, do hereby proclaim June 6, 2024 as D-Day National Remembrance Day and 299th Combat Engineer Battalion Day in the City of Auburn. With us this evening, we have some members of families of servicemen who were members of the 299th. We have a member of the Di Tomaso family and several members of the Trinca family. If you could join me up at the railing, please. I'm sure many of you watched some of the ceremonies this morning in Normandy. I had the good fortune as when I was in grad school at SUNY Oswego of meeting several members of the 299th. I did a research project on them and their service. One of those members happened to be my uncle, Severio Trinca. It was an eye-opening experience, a pleasure to sit with those members that I was able to meet with, Mr. Di Tomaso as well. Was very welcoming. He had me in his living room multiple times. And for them to share what they had experienced and to think about the fact that these men, some of them 17, 18 years old, seniors in high school, hadn't graduated yet, and what they endured and the promise of freedom they brought to all of Europe and actually the entire world. And for those 6 members that gave their lives, it's important that we remember them. In the ceremonies today, there are still some service members left. Late 90s, early 100s. They said that 130 World War II veterans die every day. So it's important that we carry on their memories. We owe that to them. So thank you all for being here and participating in that today. Thank you.